Okay, today we are playing a game on Junkertown. We are in the Gold SR range, and we will be playing Gongo the Bongo the entire way through. And our current team composition is Orisa, Zarya, Genji, McCree, Zenyatta, and Moira, so pretty damn average. I'm not super fond of Orisa Zarya as a combo of tanks, because unless the Zarya can get to high charge really consistently, it tends to end up being a pretty weak frontline, because Orisa isn't, like, huge presence by herself, and Zarya is only big presence if she's got charge, and with Orisa being a relatively static tank, it can be difficult for Zarya to actually build charge with an Orisa, so I'm not super fond of the combo of tanks, but it's a fairly average team. Now, if the pirate ship comes rolling out of the gate, we'll be really upset about it. I'll say that much, because we're basically all in on Genji being enough at that point, because it's not a team comp that's super likely to slow down a pirate ship. Anyway, let's just start the game. And you might be thinking, fuck, 11-minute video on Junkertown? That's pretty fucking short. I know, right? What kind of Junkertown game doesn't go like all the way to the end of the track? You know, very traditional setup on Junkertown. One team comes out with Bastion. They get to the third checkpoint. Other team comes out with the pirate ship. They also get to the third checkpoint, but maybe not quite as to the third checkpoint, if you catch my drift. I'm sorry, the mouse cursor's right there. How uncouth. So we're, creeping around the backside, looking to try and pick somebody off right now, and we end up just kind of going for Roadhog instead. We've gotten a bit of a look at their team. Their team's not super scary to us as Genji. We decided not to really do very much. Like, basically we spent a lot of time not really doing anything during this whole segment, because we just kind of, like, went around there, we looked, we were like, oh, there's Mercy. Oh, I don't want to go for that. I'm just gonna, like, throw some stuff at Roadhog. Oh, now I'm gonna come back over here. We just spent, like, 30 seconds doing close to nothing, which is really bad, because, I mean, during this time we've been doing nothing, and our team has just been kind of, like, over here, fighting 5v6, essentially, while we were over there not really doing very much, so it's not been a super productive period of time. Now 2 of our team are dead. We lost Moira and Zarya, but McCree's killed 2 people on their team. So we're electing to play a more reserved style of Genji, which is fine. This is a perfectly valid way of playing Genji, is that you sort of hang out with your own team for most of the game. And then if you see the opportunity to pick somebody off, you dive in, dash in, kill him, get the reset, dash back out again. So that's fine. But we should be trying to, like, poke around the shield, really. Right, alright, we're hanging out with our team. Like, we can still, like, we're still a fucking cyborg ninja, right? Like, we can do some flips up onto the high ground and, like, poke around the shield while still being near our team, right? Like, rather than just, like, throwing shurikens into the shield, which is not very productive, because Genji doesn't do a lot of damage to shields. That's not really his thing, you know? But because we're a super mobile boy, we can just, like, get up and throw things around the shield rather than at the shield, as we've been doing for a while. So we just heard, High Noon, so we kind of get out of the way. Now we're sort of poking more at them. They've got a Doomfist, which is kind of spooky to us as Genji, because if he punches us, that's really bad. Goes through the deflect as well, so it's real bad. Fortunately, Doomfist's not a very good hero, so it all evens out in the end, doesn't it? So here's Junkrat. We just used our deflect. What did we use deflect for? Basically, we were afraid we were going to die. That's perfectly fair enough. As acceptable reason to use deflect, because we were close to death. So Junkrat's real low. We want to come in here and get him. Don't stop for the trap. Like, we got this boy low. Like, we saw him running in there. He's like half health. Just get in here. Honestly, like, if you poke in like this, alright, the trap's there, whatever, fucking walk around that trap. Trap's right at the corner, this boy's low, go get him. Don't let him get out there and try and, like, get closer to healing. We want him dead. You might even decide in that moment that you could go out there with the Dragon Blade, because let's go back a little bit further and examine what happened, right? So Doomfist fucking died, because he's playing Doomfist and he was being bad. Also, during this time, Orisa also dies. And then we drop Junkrat really low. You might just go, fuck it. Dash in, pull the Dragon Blade out, cut that boy, dash out the other door, and start cutting up their supports. Now, the logical counterpoint to that would be, well, it looks like we're winning the fight anyway, so we probably don't need Dragon Blade. Mercy's still in the game, though, right? So, like, we didn't go in there, our team's not super divey, right? Like, we're the dive component of our team. Don't forget the rest of our team is Orisa, Zarya, McCree. Like, they aren't going in hard, so, like, if nobody's going in to pressure the Mercy, she'll kind of just be able to come up and res the Orisa in that situation. So, this has been a very long, rambling, incoherent mess. Look, here comes a lot of excuses. I have so many excuses. If this is not enough for you, I can get you more. I'm sick, currently. I'm behind schedule because my fucking internet went down for about 5 hours. I've been living like a fucking caveman this entire time, and I'm way behind schedule. My foot itches. Also, it's kinda hot in here, and I'm wearing a sweater and a fucking this big ass wig. It's big, by the way. You don't know. You don't understand. Shit's big, yo. So, there's that, right? My monitor's not actually turned on, even to begin with. The batteries in my mouse are dead. Don't worry about that. It's ancillary, you know. I've got a lot of excuses. If you need more excuses, please come back. I have so many. That was a mess. The point was, we could have used Dragon Blade to kill Junkrat and then go off of the Junkrat kill since he was half health to go kill the rest of the team outside, basically. Fucking 11-minute video. We're gonna be here for like 40 minutes because I don't know what I'm talking about. Blame the ISP. That net neutrality is not really the issue, but net neutrality. So, they're kind of just getting fucked up. Like, they're just straight up getting fucked up right now. That was great. Roadhog's doing that? Mistake. Zenyatta does that? Mistake. Mistakes upon mistakes. Isn't that just like gold and below SR summed up? And above gold SR, if we're to be fair. We kill a Doomfist. I thought we were gonna miss, but fucking turns out when your body is your projectile, got a pretty big window to actually get it to work. That would have been really funny if those bombs landed on us and killed us. God, I wish it worked this way. I wish if Junkrat died while he was flying through the air, the bombs that come out of him maintained the momentum, right? So, like, you just kill Junkrat as he's flying, and the bombs just fucking fly into the team anyway. That'd be so good. It would be annoying as hell, but fuck, that would be so funny. That would lead to some very, very funny highlights. Oh, he died, but it's alright. He was the cannonball. It all worked out in the end. Now, you might say to yourself, well, at that point, maybe you don't want a hero in the game that weaponizes their own death. Fucking, you don't think there's a hero coming like that eventually? There's a fucking character in League of Legends who, when he dies, he is still alive for several more seconds, rooted into place. Yeah, but he has infinite mana during this time, and he can use all of his abilities still, so he's got this giant AoE field around him. The plan is literally die in the most inconvenient place for the enemy team possible, so there's a giant death AoE that can't be moved, just sits there on them. Meanwhile, you're in there throwing fucking Skittles at them, and then you ult. His ult targets all 5 people on the enemy team regardless of where they are. It's sick. Oh, there's gonna be a guy that weaponizes their death eventually, don't you worry. I can only hope they're just half as ridiculous as Karthus was. I say was as if he no longer exists. Oh, League of Legends, I remember when that game existed. Doesn't it still? No! Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about. Not much has been happening during this period of time. I've just been sitting back here throwing shurikens, basically. Now, I will say we could be more actively looking to try and pick people off in the back line, because this is Junkertown's first checkpoint. It's a very open space. You've got a lot of options to get around and, like, try and poke people. But if you elect to go with the more conservative style of Genji, that is also fair enough, you know. And we've had Dragon Blade, like, this entire time. What I will say is that, like, we could have found an opportunity to use Dragon Blade over this whole time. Like, we've been sitting on Dragon Blade for such a long period of time. And fucking every tire that Junkrat has used has been broken. Like, that's really sad, isn't it? It's hard to break Junkrat's tire, honestly, and he's had them all break. All ultimates in Overwatch are like this way, where, like, as soon as you've got it, you want to use it, like, as quickly as possible, so you can start working on the next one. We've been sitting on this Dragon Blade for so long. And if you can just ult more times than your counterpart on the enemy team, you probably won the game, because ultimates, as it turns out, are really strong. Who knew? Anyway. So, we died, using Dragon Blade. They all got, like, bunched up together, but unfortunately we got dropped down really low, so we didn't actually get to, like, fully capitalize on the position. But it's alright, this fight's still going okay out here. So we go in on this boy because he's low health, then we're coming in over here on the Mercy. She is the next most logical person. We saw the person low health, killed the one at low health, go to the next logical place, Mercy. Because did they have a Zenyatta? No, we had Zenyatta. They had Lucio. They might have had a Zenyatta at one point. I don't know. Their team didn't really do very much, did they? So now we ain't gotta push it that far. So that's great for us. I've been going backwards instead of forwards. I was like, holy shit, did I push forwards a lot of times. No, this skin is so good. Byakuya Genji is such a fucking good skin. I was a Genji main for like 5 entire minutes after I got it. But then the Sombra buff turned up on the server, and I was like, I'm a Sombra main now. But then I remembered Sombra is hard, and so I just started playing Moira again. But Sombra's a lot easier, but fuck, dude. I think I'll just play Moira instead. That's a lot easier. Anyway, so we don't know what they got. I expect the Bastion. Like, whenever the first attacking team doesn't do super well, they tend to default to Bastion strats when they switch over on defense, because, you know, cheese. This is how it is. We also had a Bastion. Our Bastion died first, but we were able to come in, swoop in at the end, and steal the glory. Then we got hooked by Roadhog and fucking died. So, let's go back. I haven't really been paying attention, if I'm to be honest with you. So we are playing Genji. We see Roadhog right here, so we know that that's something we gotta play around in the future. There's also an Ana. Ana's not too spooky, but we gotta kind of pay attention to that. So now you gotta think to yourself that the hook's gonna be coming off cooldown soon. Because we saw him use the hook. I feel like he fucking switched skins since I last saw him, but I must just be insane. You gotta figure the hook's coming off cooldown soon. So at that point, yeah, we want to kill Ana. Like, that's great, yeah, obviously. But you gotta keep in mind, we saw him hook, because he tried to hook and missed. So we saw it, and then we can keep in track in our mind how long it's going to be, roughly, until his hook comes off cooldown. And then, as that timer ticks down in our mind, we gotta start paying attention to Roadhog again. Because getting hooked is one of the things that kills us, right? We've also got to worry about Ana, because both of her cooldowns can really fuck us up, right? If we get hit by the grenade, we gotta basically play passively after that. And the dart is going to kill us if she hits us with that. Unless someone really fucks it up. So we came out, and we dashed over here to get this. That's fair enough. We don't wanna die. Now, but here's the thing as well. Roadhog's not looking at us, right? So you don't want to use, like, your movement ability unless you have to. So rather than just, like, dashing in immediately, we know Roadhog's not looking at us. Just, like, take a gander out in the open space and see if anybody's looking at you. If they aren't, you can probably just walk to that health kit. You're actually not that far away from it. And not having our dash right now is really sad, because if we had our dash, might have been able to kill this Reinhardt, right? Because the extra bit of burst off the dash might have been enough. So, you don't want to use your movement ability if you have to. It's like if you're playing Tracer, you don't want to use recall if you don't have to, right? Genji's the same way. If you don't have to dash to survive, you don't want to do it, right? So, we've almost got Dragon Blade. Just pull it out. Like, I would just pull it out way sooner than that, but, like, you know, we pull it out pretty soon. We have failed mechanically somewhere in here. That dash didn't really get us anywhere. I see. Because I was like, this should have been easy money off of this point, but, like, yeah, we didn't go, like, through the Mercy, and then we have to spend time running after her. That's unfortunate. It's like it's a mechanical thing more than anything else, because, like, when you're going after the Mercy, you've got to, like, anticipate where the Mercy's go. I mean, I'm saying it's mechanical, and I'm talking about anticipation, right? So, I mean, when you're going after the Mercy, you got to kind of, like, figure where she's going to go, right? Like, so let's go back, rather than talking about it abstractly, right? So, we go through this. We kill Anna. Great. Mercy's not gonna stay here, right? Because we just fucking murdered Anna right next to her in cold blood. Mercy's gonna fly away. So rather than dashing immediately right there, it'll end up being better off waiting for Mercy to use the GA, because then you can use the dash to follow Mercy, and then you can just cut her before she can GA away again, right? Mercy's this way where you've got to account for the fact that she has GA when you're trying to kill her with Dragon Blade, right? Like, if you're trying to Dragon Blade Mercy specifically, what you do is you dash up to Mercy, pull out the Dragon Blade next to her, she's gonna fly away from you, but it's alright because you just reset the dash, so you follow her through that GA and then you kill her. So you got to account for that. So, So you got to account for where she's going to go, because if you don't get the kill, if you don't chain kills off of resets, it's very hard to get much out of Dragon Blade. So you've got to account for things like GA when you're planning out how you're going to do it. And you got to do a lot of this very quickly, right? Like, because you're in there cutting people with your big katana, you got to very quickly assess a lot of moving pieces. But I mean, it's just part of playing Genji, right? So here, what looks like what happens is we see McCree, and our gut reaction is start deflecting, but then we just keep looking at Mercy. Mercy ain't gonna do anything that we need to deflect, right? Like, keep looking at McCree during that, because I'm sure the gut reaction was like, fuck McCree. But then we, like, stopped looking at him. Just, like, keep looking at him. He's got his flashbang. This guy just got back to the fight. Like, he's got his flashbang. You gotta try and deflect that before you keep going on the Mercy at that point. Granted, if we executed the Dragon Blade better as well, we would not have been in that position to begin with. So, I mean, maybe if we got the kill better on the Mercy, we could have just killed him to begin with. So, yeah, this is getting we don't know. Alternate timelines and shit. So, good old Hope Bastion kills himself on you play is not very good, because most Bastions at this point, they aren't going to kill themselves on you. The Bastion has to, like, shoot you a lot to actually kill himself on you at this point, so it doesn't tend to work out super well. You're better off trying to get behind the Bastion and, like, throw some shit into his core. And then if he turns to you, you start deflecting, you know. But the good old just hope he kills himself on you play doesn't really work anymore. Back when the game was but a wee infant, unfortunately. These halcyon days are gone now. So, here comes Winston. He overshot the mark. Oh no, sad. He was gonna die regardless. It doesn't matter, but we get to laugh at him anyway. Good old Korean Smurf over here in gold. Yep. Definitely checks out. Talking shit on the monkey for overshooting it, yeah. I'm glad he's on the same page as me. It didn't matter. He wasn't gonna save it, but I'm glad he understands as well. So, the big thing that stands out to me in this game is just, like, how long we sat on the Dragon Blade during the defense round, because we we had that boy for a long time. Like, we sat on that one Dragon Blade for the entire round. Like, shit, dude, use the Dragon Blade. Goddamn. Ultimates are a very big deal in Overwatch, and Dragon Blade is, like, one of the best ultimates in the game. It is, as far as I'm concerned, Dragon Blade is the best ultimate in the game. Especially if you're talking about DPS ultimates. The Tac Visor is close, but, like, Dragon Blade is really good. If you just use Dragon Blade, like, several times during a game, that's a big advantage for your team, because Dragon Blade in most situations is, like, enough to win a team fight by itself, assuming you execute it correctly. Which, you know, can be a big if. We've all seen the Genjis that go in 1v6 with the Dragon Blade, like, here comes the big plays, and then they just instantly are turned into paste on the wall. But Dragon Blade's really strong. So, like, you got, like, as soon as you got it, you're looking to use it as soon as possible, because you want to start building the next Dragon Blade. Now, you can take that too far the other way. Like, don't use it, like, frivolously at the same time. Like, you want to use it in a good situation. It's just, like, the first, like, good situation you see to use Dragon Blade, you should use it, because you want to start working on Dragon Blade number 2. So, that's, like, the biggest thing that stood out in this game. I've just noticed the numbers in this, and I'm really fucking upset. 2, 3, 5, 4. God damn. Anyway, so, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. Join our Discord if you haven't. You can ask questions more directly and have a conversation about things, and I hope you found the video helpful.